It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. It's a Notre Dame Monday. There's a lot going on. I got to tell you, genuinely impressed with the amount of newsworthy activity in the Notre Dame's offseason after blue and gold. Usually it's this slow period. There's been a lot of news. I think there's going to be some more good news coming, and I will get to that later on. Yeah, that's interesting, Jay Carr. I'll touch on that as well. But there's a lot going on in Notre Dame land to keep you entertained, even in this off-season period. So that's a beautiful thing. We're going to get into some of that. I want to break down the way I see the media using Notre Dame. And every day that goes by, there's more of it that's going on. And I want to just tell you how I'm perceiving some of the national perspective around Notre Dame. And I'll be honest, some of what I'm going to say is maybe slightly contradictory on my own accord. And I want to try and navigate through that and kind of thread the needle there, because some of my thoughts on this, I think, contradict one another. And I'm going to try and exist in two spaces in my mind with that at the exact same time. So really interesting stuff to go over. Good morning. We got a good solid morning crowd here. A lot of the regulars. I love you guys, man. You guys are the reason I'm able to do this year round and not just when there's games to react to and everybody's all worked up. You guys are the best. So thanks for that. And then a couple of housekeeping items that I want to go over with you guys as we get started here. So thanks for being here. As always, hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Most of you have. I appreciate it. Many of you have not. Go ahead and hit it. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend. I'm always blown away by the amount of people that are diehard Notre Dame people, but don't even think to go to YouTube for this sort of stuff. We're so immersed in this world. Sometimes some people aren't. And so send the video to something I yell about to a friend. Maybe we'll get a new subscriber. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. John, what day does Kennedy Pool open? Well, that depends, because I got NICOR digging up the front yard for a gas leak in the neighborhood. I'm still going back and forth about the roof because I got hail damage everywhere. My gutters are busted. I'm still dealing with that. I got 2 tons of rock coming. They're going to drop in the driveway for me to put around the pool and around the patio and around the landscaping. There's too much going on. So the thing is clearing up, and we got the chemicals in it and whatever. But, man, I just got too much yard stuff going on right now. Too much yard stuff going on. So I don't think it's going to be open as early as usual because we have all these other construction projects. I got 99 problems, but a snake ain't one. Add it to the list, bro. I found a couple holes in the front yard. I think that's where that mom anaconda lays her puppies down. I'm serious. I found a couple big holes, and it's near where I was weed eating, and the little snakes came out and scattered everywhere. If the neighbors were out sitting in their garage drinking a beer, looking across at me, you would think I'm insane. I'm over here swinging that weed eater. So I got a snake problem too. I think it's an anaconda or maybe a viper or something in the front yard. So I'm going to have to attack that one. I'm considering. I'm going to pour some gas down there, light a match, and see what happens. Because I don't mess with no snakes. And if you remember, this is the time of year. The last mid to late May is when I saw that mom snake in my yard 2 years in a row. I know it's the same one. And she thinks she could just come into my yard and lay a bunch of baby rattlesnake, anaconda, python, cobra hybrids that just spread all over John's yard. No. So I got to fight that snake battle. I'm going to try and mess up that hole she has those rat kids in before she does it. Maybe she could do it in the field, stay away from my place. So I got Sly Fox says anacondas in Illinois. Wow. Only in my house, Sly. Some people accuse me of exaggerating stories from effect. I'm not exaggerating this one. I think she's a member of the anaconda. She's a green anaconda, the biggest snake ever recorded. She's straight from the Amazon, bro. She took a train, she hooked onto the bottom of something and came all the way from the Amazon rainforest to have babies in my front yard. I don't like snakes. I also got a problem with the possum. I got a possum that's doing something in the yard. I let the dogs out and they're trying to fight the possum at midnight. They got the possum cornered and the young dog doesn't know how to attack it and the possum's playing possum. So he's laying there with that weird nose. It's a wilderness wonderland over here. Son of a buck. Yeah, Mark, aren't you right? I wish the snake and the possum could fight it out, and at least I could eliminate one of my problems by nature. A possum or an opossum? I don't know what it is, but it's annoying when my dogs are trying to fight it at midnight, waking up the neighborhood. So anyways, I wanted to have the pool up and going early or whatever, but I literally have 5 different projects all going on in my house at the same time. So this is just going to be one of those summers, I think, off to a late start. John's going to get rid of the snakes, then come on here and complain that he has rats and mice 3 days later. These are modern. Why do I got to live with rats, mice, or a snake? Okay? Now, I do want to give nature its due. Our neighborhood is built in the middle of fields. Like I always have the realization when I stand on my deck of the pool and look out, it's all farmland around our neighborhood. I definitely need to be understanding we moved into their territory, not the other way around. I'm always aware of that as a human. Like we moved into their field and built a neighborhood. They didn't move into our house. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always understanding of that part of nature, but it's like, too bad. We have a bigger brain than you. So like we win. I don't know what to tell. Like, I'm sorry, Mom Snake. Can't you just have your dumb kids in the field? Why's it got to be near my garage? There's a whole field out there. Pick a tree and have your kids under there. What do you got to be over in my neighborhood for? So I realize we moved our neighborhood into their field, but it's like you need to adapt too, bro. So anyways, I got a gas leak in the front yard. They're acting like it's no big deal. Oh, but buddy, we're getting a weird reading under your front yard. Like maybe we should check it out. They don't have any urgency, but when I hear gas leak in my front yard, I'm not thinking good thoughts. I got that. The gutters are dinged up. I got the snake infestation. Who wants to come to Johnny's house? Anyways, I don't want to make it about that, but I am trying to get that mom snake before she lays those kids this time. I'm getting her. I don't know what I'm going to have to dump napalm down that hole. I don't know, but I'm doing something. I'll get some mixed concrete and pour it all the way down those holes in the yard her and her kids use to scare me. And I don't like snakes. I don't like snakes and I don't like cats. At least cats, I got a medical reason, man. I'm telling you. We were going to watch a friend's dog when they went to Florida. And they're like, oh, we'll bring the dog over to see how it gets along with your dogs. And if it goes well, they'll pay us to watch their dog while they're in Florida. I'm petting the dog. Oh, what a good little doggy while he's over here. I'm trying to be nice to him or whatever. 20 minutes later, my throat closed and my eyes were swollen shut. Turns out they have cats at home, and that stupid dog has been rolling around where the cats are and then brought the dander over to my place. I don't like cats. Can't trust them. Never trust a cat. Anyways, thanks for being here. What an introduction. And we're going to have a hell of a week after that start. Here's the first thing. Happy Mother's Day. Rudy, you're a great mother. Happy Mother's Day. You're essentially the mother of this. You're the mother of this chat. So God bless you for trying to deal with us. All of us immature guys all the time. Yeah, John loves cats. John loves the ocean. Anything else? You want to add Brian Kelly to the list? What else you get? Phil, what else you going to say I love that you know I hate? By the way, that's another episode waiting to be made. Brian Kelly, again, yet another example. Yet another example of Brian Kelly being completely out of touch with reality. His recent interview, unbelievable. The guy does not exist in the reality. He just doesn't exist in the real world. He just doesn't exist in the real world. So there's another episode. Yeah, John's a huge fan of Tyrone Willingham. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm going to watch him rollerblade around campus. I can't think of anything more humiliating than Goolsby telling me, how am I supposed to take my head coach seriously when the guy has knee and arm pads, and he's rollerblading around campus? How are you supposed to respect that guy? How are you supposed to revere and look up to your head coach at Notre Dame when he's rollerblading around campus in full protective attire? Come on, man. So Brian Kelly, yet again, he gets on air and then shows he's completely disconnected from reality. But I do want to say, yeah, Phil, hooves, add that to the list. Dude hoof, add that to the list. Snakes, air travel, traffic, add all crowds, add all that to the list. I got to say, seriously, Justin Sniper, imagine you're trying to be a serious program at Notre Dame and you're walking through the quad and your head football coach is rollerblading with full elbow and knee pads on through campus. How could you win a game? As far as the aura I want the Notre Dame coach to give out, rollerblading with full protective pads on it's about as opposite as it gets. The age-old question from Bobo. Can't we just move on from BK? I have the best answer to this. I've gotten that comment a million times since he's left. I have the most perfect response to that you could ever imagine. If there was ever a time to highlight all of Brian Kelly's nonsense, it's any time he is not ruining my life. That's my pushback. There's never been a better time to bring up Brian Kelly because all the dumb stuff he says it does no longer ruins my hairline, blood pressure, and life. There's never been a better time to talk about Brian Kelly because he's not our problem. And that's the bottom line because Johnny said so. The other one that cracks me up from Goolsby, they're doing off-season training where it's a lot of grind work. You're running miles, the off-season conditioning stuff where you're literally just running and all this stuff, And he said they would be running, they're sweating their asses off, dying, trying to get into shape. And you would run your lap back around, and there's Tyrone Willingham with his wedge practicing his chipping. I don't even think Brian Kelly did that. Brian Kelly at least kept the clubs in the car or at the pro shop, right? In his locker. Like even Brian Kelly didn't do that. So the guy was rollerblading all over, chipping practice while the guys are trying to work out. And then you fail. And then it's like, yeah, they fired me because they're racist. That's just, I can't. Come on, man. Come on, man. BK spikes John's cortisol every time. I'm telling you, it's ever since he left, it's been awesome. It's a stress reliever to talk about the guy because all of the weird stuff he does doesn't affect me. It's awesome. There's never been a better time to talk about Brian Kelly. You know what? I take that back. The first best time to talk about Brian Kelly probably was when he took the Notre Dame job but wasn't there yet because you had all this hope and you were like, finally a real quarterback guy. Like, we're going to get these great offenses. He's going to be the quarterback whisperer. That was a good time to talk about BK before he got here and after he got here. Everything in between, I have a problem with. I have a problem with it. But the day that I see Marcus Freeman rollerblading through campus, I shut the program down. I can't think of a less aura, vibe, credibility than you rollerblading through campus, full safety gear. I'll never be able to get over it. I'll never be able to get over it. Anyways, happy Mother's Day. That's the first thing. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. If you're fortunate enough, your mother is alive, to be with her, be nice to her. If you have a wife and you kind of like her, I hope you did something nice for her, dealing with you and your rat kids, whatever it is. So I hope everybody did their thing for that. So, and especially to Rudy, she's like the mother of the group chat here every day, tolerating our immaturity. God bless you, Rudy. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. A couple housekeeping items here. There's a couple of you guys here. I'll put the link in. There's a couple of you guys that want to jump in, a couple of people that haven't been here for a while either. So I'm excited to speak with you, fine Irish gentlemen. Number one is why they got to be rat kids. I don't know. It's a good descriptor to mix it up. Yeah, I guess around my house, they could be snake kids. They could be cat kids. Who knows? Number one is the idea of an always Irish summer Eddy Street South Bend bar crawl is gaining momentum. Okay, Jay Carr, you and me both. The idea of an always Irish bar crawl where we pick a weekend in the middle of the dog day, the dog days of summer. We pick a weekend in the dog days of summer where there's nothing going on in Notre Dame. There's not a lot of people around. It's not all chaotic, but we all just meet up and hang out and go out. That's gaining momentum. People want to come up with goofy t-shirts. We find a weekend where it's good for most people. We go to South Bend in the middle of the summer. There's not a lot going on, and we take over the damn town. That idea is gaining momentum, and I'm all about it. We just need to figure out the right date. So if anybody's interested in that, I don't know how to coordinate, how to figure out when it's best for the most people to be able to get there. And we literally just, why I like it is because there's not going to be a lot of people. You ever go to campus when it's 100 degrees in like July? There ain't nothing going on, bro. I like the idea of us taking it over and injecting some life into the dog days of summer. And we get our t-shirts, we let it be known who we are, and we just tear stuff up. So I want to know from you guys who's interested, how many people can make it happen. Also, the other thing, we are going to postpone Monday Night Raw till tomorrow night with Mike and myself. Unfortunately, Mike had to put down his beautiful, huge, gorgeous dog yesterday. And so we're going to give him a day to be able to get everything settled and back on track and whatever else. So we're giving Mike a day. And so anybody that's usually there for Raw, we're going to push that back a day. just so Mike could deal with all that comes with that. Really beautiful, beautiful dog. And it's just very unfortunate. Domer Sully, can we all wear flip-flops? It's going to be 100 degrees. If you're going to wear flip-flops and you're a dude, is it too much to ask that you just do a little basic human hygiene maintenance on your hooves before you show up at the bar crawl? I'm serious. Like, can you run a buzzer through the Sasquatch hair coming off your ugly knuckles? You think you could file down that fat white patch of dead skin from your fat foot shifting whenever you walk? Too much to ask? Seriously, dude, you got talons bigger than the ones that eagle had that Brian Kelly brought back to life and let go over the Delta of Louisiana. Caw. So I wouldn't mind the dude hoof thing if you guys would just clean it up a little bit. Run a trimmer over them nasty brown things. Come on, like, pull it together. Anyways. Always Irish flip-flops with no socks, slides, and do-rags. I'm going to tell you what, we're going to be up on that do not allow in this bar at every single bar in South Bend. We ain't going to have anywhere to hang out. You guys are ridiculous. Grow up. You guys need to grow up. How are your feet looking? Long and skinny. That's always been the problem. Yeah, I wear size 13 tennis shoe, and I am not tall enough. I got long, skinny. I got a weird body. I have extra long and skinny arms and legs and hands and feet, but my torso isn't that big. I got misproportion in the womb. So I don't know what happened, you guys. I have really long arms, long legs, long hands, long feet, and I'm just not tall enough. I should be like 6'2" with this size 13. But I'm always aware no one wants to see me. If I'm at the beach walking, it looks like I'm skiing. So long and skinny, man. So I try not to show off my feet, just being respectful. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Size 13, long and skinny, bro. So I broke a toe in 7th grade. I never got fixed, and it still shows today. I broke that thing playing basketball barefoot 7th grade summer, and I never told my parents because I didn't want to go to the hospital, and there are some results of that I'm noticing at 41. That thing doesn't touch the ground, but it broke. It was sticking straight up, and I went in the basement with nobody around. I went like that until I flattened it, but it didn't heal right. So I got problems, so I don't make people see my nasty ski hooves. Tailgating in a parking lot in the middle of summer would be sweet. Do you know how relaxing that would be, Mark? The concept to be able to just hang out and drink beer with my friends without the obligation of having to do anything else is extremely freeing for me. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And it's free, too. I won't even have to pay $378 to park the car that day. Unbelievable. You get it. The market's messed up. Like last year, when I end up paying more by like 3 times to park a car to watch Purdue play football than it costs to actually watch Purdue play football. Come on, man. And I know you're going to say, John, you don't understand basic economics. It's supply and demand. There's 87,578 seats in the stadium. There isn't that many parking spots, so everyone's got to be marked up. Why am I paying $375 to park a car to watch Purdue play football? Somebody answer that. Purdue! Not Miami. Not Ohio State. Purdue. So I got a problem with that, but spare me. You don't understand basic economics. No, all I know is I paid $375 to park a car to watch Purdue play football last year. And I think that's too much. Too much. All right. We need to get the show on track. We're off to a weird start on a Monday. Let me do a couple of these chats and then we'll get this thing going. Sly, good morning. Always, Sly, your wife's so nice. Always, my parents love her. Always Irish Nation. Hopefully, good news coming Tuesday with 5-star. Ola, Oli, Luli, and Friday with Full of Run Show. Well, there's a mouthful. Couple names I could barely pronounce, but I want you to come to town, baby. Ola, Wali, Uli, Luli. Double O. Welcome to the show. That's what you do. You call him Double O. And so I don't care if I can pronounce the names or not. I want him in South Bend. Come on down, baby. Come on down. The Double O, take over the show, baby. I'm here for it. Tex ND. J Love signs contract with the largest guaranteed portion all time for running back. Tom, hop back on when you can. I know I get long-winded. J Love signed the largest guaranteed, 59.5. Good for him. Great look for Notre Dame. I believe it's important. Slide doubles up on this. Read the article that Mr. Price projected starter for the defending Super Bowl champs as well. Here's why I think this is important. Tom, I'm coming to you. We'll get you going. You can get on with your day. Tom's got to run the old city of Chicago. He doesn't have all day to sit here and talk to my dumb ass. Anyways, here's the deal. I believe it was important for Notre Dame to start having this NFL footprint that goes beyond the common offensive lineman, tight end. Like you're going to start getting some defensive guys in there. I believe Goolsby's always talked about this. I believe it is important that Notre Dame starts to show it isn't just linemen and tight ends that we put in the league at eye level that succeed. I think it is important and a very good thing that Notre Dame's showing that they're getting some skill guys in that mix. So I think that's awesome. Beef, I'm still working on my hi, John. This is Beef from North Carolina. Can you hear me? It's just a classic. It's just a classic. The way the guy delivers. I make a big deal of it. Oh, it's WPP. Welcome. And then he says, hi, John. This is West Palm. I don't know how much of his thing is a bit, how much of it is real. Either way, I'm immensely entertained and I never know what I'm going to get. And that's kind of what I want from callers, quite frankly. Here we go from the Beef. For the Notre Dame, I'm going to yell about this. I'm just going to yell about it. For the Notre Dame North Carolina game, North Carolina is charging $250 per ticket for the local ND alumni group allotment. $250 for a UNC home game. This is insane. NC State was $90 and Duke $70. Telling you this. I spent some time over the weekend looking and thinking about Notre Dame's schedule. In the North Carolina game, I want Notre Dame to prove a point in that game. The Bill Belichick college football thing is bothering me. It comes off to me like he thought his reputation in the NFL preceded him to a point where all he had to do is show up in college and manifestly, instantly, like he would be elite at college football. That's how it comes off to me. That he thought just by his name, he could sit at a college and just talent would come and wins would happen and it would all just kind of fall into place because of who he is. And I'm glad it hasn't been that easy. I'm glad to see a guy like that get humbled. Tom Brady ain't walking through the door in North Carolina. I'm also incredibly bothered still by the behavior of his childish girlfriend. I'm telling you, Notre Dame fans would absolutely lose their minds if Marcus Freeman's wife was in thigh-high boots walking around on the field during spring ball. You would absolutely lose your mind about what is going on here. Is this a professional operation or not? Like, what are we doing? We would lose our minds if our head coach at Notre Dame did any of the stuff this lady's able to do. It all bothers me. There's an entitlement. I feel like Bill thought my reputation alone will make me win in college because I am who I am. I'm glad to see it hasn't happened, and I want to beat them by 40 at their place. I want to beat them by 40 at their house. So it just bothers me that he thought just him showing up was enough. You know, the other one I like seeing fail is Dion. And Dion's the one who said, you think I'm going to get on a plane and fly to you to recruit you? Who do you think you are? You better come to me if you want to get recruited. Some of these guys think with their ego, they can manifest football success, and it doesn't work that way. But I remember that quote, Dion being like, you want me to recruit you? You better fly to me. I'm not coming to your high school. I don't have time for that. Okay, fine. So I want him to fail too. Dude, never forget, the media wanted the Colorado Dion thing to be something it isn't going to be. They wanted it that first year, whatever, they're competitive. All the celebrities are on the sideline. They so wanted to push this to be a thing. It just isn't a thing. It just isn't a thing. And I'm here for it. Any chance your White Sox are moving to Gary with the Bears? Well, I'll tell you this. If they move to Gary, it'll be easy for me to get in and out of games. So I'm not even going to complain. Let them pay for the taxes and I have an easier drive to the game. Perfect. Sounds good to me. Now, the scam is, while you're waiting in the inevitable traffic jam to get off the Dan Ryan and get into the White Sox park, the scammers are coming up to you selling you parking, and they're not real parking people. But they kind of hijack you, and they're like, no, it's $40, and you can park when you get up here. It's $40. You're like, I already have parking. They're like, I don't think you understand. It's $40 for you to move your car any further. So it's bad enough the White Sox haven't won diddly poo since 2005. Now you're getting stuck up in your car on the way there. Let them go to Gary, Indiana. Put the stadium in Michael Jackson's childhood front yard for all I care. Get some real athletes and maybe the season will become a thriller. We'll see. Sox 19-21 holding their ground in the division. Thank God it's a bad division. But it has kept me interested. I admit that. I've been watching. Just because they're within a game of first place, I've been watching. But I'm not getting fooled. If you're around 500, you're going to win the AL Central. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. The Commander. Good morning, always Irish crew. Everybody have a safe Monday. Take care of yourselves and the people you care about. You got Commander. Which way does he roll off the bed, baby? One time, it's all nice messages. The next day, it's burn it all to the ground. We all suck. So I've never seen Ags sober. Mark, that could be interpreted two different ways. You've never seen Phil and Erica sober, or you've never been sober to see Phil and Erica. So I don't know which one it is. I love the ending clip. John in disbelief. ND's beating Clemson. Yeah, that was a pretty good. That was one of Marcus Freeman's first early big wins. $5 holler from the pigskin. Rico from the College Pigskin Hour. Our correspondents witness cars, bro, flinging it in Michigan. Could be watching a Manning brother dynasty in the making. I'm telling you. I don't know enough about the Michigan quarterback competition. Could that kid win the job over Bryce Underwood, who Dave Portnoy spent like $8 million on to get him for Brian Kelly at LSU to come over there? Now he paid all that money and he's failing, and could Carr overtake him? Cap, sorry for the loss here, pup. Man, it was a beautiful big dog, too. It was a beautiful big dog, and Mike loved them, and it's just tough, man. If you're not a dog person, you'll never understand that relationship, and it's just a special thing. So it's really unfortunate. Okay. Let me go to Chicago's very own here, and we'll get Tom in and out, and he could get back to running the city on a beautiful day. And then I'm going to go over some of my notes about the media. We'll see what the fine gentleman here thinks. Tom, good morning, brother.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. First off, your hairline is looking rather presidential. I mean, Tom, you got it going on. I would have to go to Amazon.com and order something to look that good. You kidding me? You got the hair of a champion, baby.
Yeah, well, that's what my mother used to call the Wild West of Ireland hair. Thank God I got my mother's Wild West of Ireland hair. So I'm lucky in that regard. But oh God, you cracked me up this morning. I thought you were going to lose it. I mean, my goodness. So the
You
thoughts
never,
about
you never know what's going to happen here.
no,
Tom.
you don't.
Never know.
So the thoughts about convening down in South Bend this summer, and I started thinking about the cast of characters, and how about Renee and I showing up in Kelly Green Speedos and sombreros just to kick shit off. You talk about guys coming in flip flops. There'd be big beer bellies hanging out with Speedos and sombreros. That'd scare every female out of the fucking neighborhood.
You could, you guys could order 2 of the Borat green swimsuits with the whole thing, the banana hammock. Yeah, you guys would do well on any
My
street,
God.
I think.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But you know what? You're going to have to call Notre Dame. Don't forget, they got a lot of camps going on down there in between now, graduation and when football camp resumes. So
you are, Tom. You're so right. Jack Sacco and I try to make summer trips once a year. Yeah. And the last time there was like a baton twirling contest.
Yes.
Everywhere I walked, there was a stick in the air waiting to hit me. All these girls were practicing flipping their sticks. Everywhere I turned, there was a baton in the air.
And you're going to have to, whoever your contact is down at Notre Dame, actually my brother's step granddaughter actually works at Notre Dame in the administration now. I'll call her and find out and see if, what's the lightest schedule, because don't forget those hotels down there, they know when all those campers are coming in. And if you pick one of those weekends to do it'll be almost like a football weekend. Yeah. Not that expensive.
It is ridiculous. That's a very, very good point. Nothing's as easy as we want it to be.
No.
Here's
my thought. And I'm serious. Stay over the border in Michigan.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of resorts and little hotels on lakes and stuff, a half an hour away from Notre Dame. Make it more like a weekend camp, because how much time are you really going to spend? Do you want to spend in South Bend?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that's a really good idea, Tom. But
you know
the main point of this is I just love how everybody wants to hang out more. It's a beautiful thing. And I would like to get there with no stress of having a bunch of stuff to do. It'd be relaxing for me too. Tom, let's turn this to the Notre Dame football program. I am led to understand Notre Dame expects to stay hot in recruiting and start landing some big guys here this summer. Everybody I've talked to is very optimistic. They're just getting started. That is a beautiful thing. And we're going to have a couple commitment dates this week coming up, one tomorrow, one. And so we're going to see where this goes. But Notre Dame feels pretty good about where they stand with a lot of these top guys.
Yeah, and that's what Ray Hamilton tells me. Ray's my friend. He's a regular listener. He just never chimes in. And Ray's been giving me updates on what to expect per Tom Lemming. So it looks good, especially in the Midwest. Getting some ball players we need on the defensive side of the ball, especially. So I don't know, such a fickle thing to talk about recruiting now because of the money bag situation. You just don't know. But that Brian Kelly thing that you brought up, and I saw that the other day, and I almost came unglued. And I think, you know what? Okay, here, if I'm Father Dowd, I intervene here. I said, Brian, the only way you're coming back to campus is the first visit you're going to make is at Sacred Heart, the Basilica. You're going to go right in, make a good act of contrition, and sit in the confessional box for those mortal sins you committed. Why you left Notre Dame. That's the only way he'd get back into my town. That dirty bastard.
He's so disconnected from reality. I find it immensely entertaining because it's not my problem. The other thing, Tom, I wanted to hit on is the Notre Dame media hype continues.
Yes, it does.
Weekly. You're getting another outlet saying, I think Notre Dame's going to win it all. I see Reese Davis and the ESPN guys had a thing out over the weekend saying Notre Dame's the number one team.
That's a stroke trope. They're just pulling our chains, kind of making up for their bullshit last year. Look, who's who's the heavy set guy that used to be the college handicapper on College Game Day, and then he moved over to Fox? What's that guy's name?
Is it with the glasses?
Yes.
What, he had the bear. The bear, was it the bear?
The bear.
Was his name?
The bear. Yeah. He got more chins than a Chinese phone book, and he's sitting there talking about football. I'm tired of that prick. He said he was ripping Notre Dame's schedule. Look, they play Michigan State. Yeah, maybe SMU and maybe Miami. You mean Miami, the team that was in the national championship game? He says maybe they have 4 games. You know what? It isn't the greatest schedule in the world, but they just love to feed the beast. And by the way, he's not a great handicapper. I can beat him in my sleep. He sucks. If you ever see his record at the end of the season, I don't know how this guy made it. He's got a great voice. He's got a great face for radio. How he made TV, I have no idea.
You know what else I'm starting to come around to? I'm starting to come around to the idea Notre Dame's schedule may end up looking a little tougher than it looks on paper. When you think about it, man, I don't know about that first batch of teams. I don't have a lot of faith in any of them. But BYU should be in really good shape when Notre Dame goes to Provo. I expect Miami to be undefeated or have 1 loss maybe when we play them. But I think SMU could be a really important factor at the – I like that it's positioned late in the year. You may need a boost there in your little, like how you're perceived with your schedule late in November. Notre Dame wasn't able to get that last year because the back end of the schedule dropped off so much. That's right. SMU has kind of a light schedule. They avoid Texas Tech. No, that's BYU. SMU has a light schedule. I think they're going to be maybe 1 loss or undefeated when you play them.
Well, and
that could be the big one.
Too. So when they're ripping Notre Dame's schedule, it's like if you stack Notre Dame's schedule up for this coming season against the entire Big 12 schedule, let's have that conversation. But they never want to bring that shit up. You know what I mean? And it's just I don't buy into their trope. They're sucking us in. I don't buy it at all. First of all, too, what we remember from the last 2 seasons, the national football coverage, the college football coverage, they had lazy looks into Notre Dame football. The only one that comes close is probably McElroy. I like McElroy's takes. He's honest about where his loyalties lie, but he calls it pretty straight because the rest of them are lazy. And I know they have so many teams to handicap, but it's still Notre Dame, right? And the brand. So when they talk about them, they tend to forget how deep Notre Dame is going to be. And, once they get past the first string and, the running backs are gone and now they've got CJ Carr, but do they have it's the same conversations that we're having in the offseason about the wide receivers. Are they going to be a lot of question marks? Well, let's just see how it goes. And that other thing you were talking about, oh my God, the fact that these coaches, you talk about the recruiting and how, the lack of recruiting that Notre Dame's had in the last 30 years, and the fact that they're starting to pull these guys, hats off, because it's got to be really hard when you're dealing with, especially for a fact that Marcus Freeman is not going to be running around on rollerblades. He's not going to be playing golf. He knows that he's got to go visit these parents, right? And he's got to make that finals, even though his assistant coaches do a bang-up job recruiting, and it's proofs in the pudding. But even with the money situation the way it is, and NIL, you've got to have a coach that's fully engaged. You can't be rollerblading around campus like you say. So I said we're lucky in that regard. Now it's just having to put it all together.
Yeah. It's I wrote an article this morning, Tom, for SI, saying how somehow Marcus Freeman is avoiding the usual stressors that catch up with Notre Dame head football coaches eventually. things are getting pretty comfortable for
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman. He is not having the infrastructure and the resources battle and a hurdle. He's not having the issue of not being able to pay, good salary and attract top coaches or have NIL money. Like, he's able to get kids in there that can succeed in school and on the field. Like, there's a lot of synergy right now between the Notre Dame administration and Marcus Freeman. That guy needs to think twice before going to the NFL. He's got a pretty good thing going here. It's pretty comfortable for him right now.
And this whole thing, it's funny you mentioned that, the NFL, right? So somebody a few days ago came up with that trope again. It was, I don't know who the guy was. He was talking about, be careful, he's going to the NFL. You mean like Brian Kelly was going to the NFL? How come Brian Kelly is in the NFL now? You think he hurt his brand? It just, there are guys that are cut out for the NFL. And at Marcus Freeman's age, he should be in the NFL as an assistant coach, a position coach. He's not there. Why? How many great college football coaches that graduated to the NFL failed? We can name them all, starting with Lou Holtz, Barry Switzer. I mean, just go down the line. Nick Saban, the greatest college coach. He's the top of the heap now, right? Based on his wins. I mean, they just don't understand that's a different game. Yeah, it looks the same on paper, but the speed of that game, and you've got to be a brutal kind of a coach to play in that game to actually do well there. And look at Belichick on the reverse, coming at his age to North Carolina. Oh, when I saw that $250 a ticket, who put that, a Beefeater? I was like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, really? For a college game? I mean, that the prices are knocking me out. That's why I can't afford to go to hockey games anymore. I certainly can't afford to go to White Comiskey Park or Wrigley Field anymore. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I save all my shekels for Notre Dame games, but the parking, $375 for Purdue. That's nuts. I mean, I get capitalism. I love capitalism, but Christ almighty.
I know.
They gouge us.
Yeah. And so, Tom, this is, I think this is going to be a really exciting stretch through the summer, because I expect Notre Dame to have another good recruiting class. All the rumblings I'm hearing are expect some good guys to commit, like the top guys Notre Dame want. We're looking good. So we're going to see what this week brings. The other thing, Tom, is the blue and gold game was a couple weeks later than it usually is. Like, when I looked back at the calendar, it was pushed back a little bit. This is going to be a shorter window to back into August than we're used to feeling. I think this is going to go by quick, and we'll be back to August, and all the action's going to ramp back up before you know it. People better enjoy the sunshine and get out while they can. I'm telling you, summer's going to go by fast, and we're going to be right back into full football.
Yeah, no, and it always does. And the older you get, the summers go by quicker and the winters go by longer. So that's the rule. But listen, guys, God bless. Have a great one, John. I'll talk to you later. I got some business for you. Okay.
I know you do. You're like Batman of Chicago, man. You put on the outfit and you just go take care of business.
Yeah, and it's still a shithole, but we'll get it back one of these days.
Oh, Tom, you're the man. Love you, buddy. We'll talk to you.
See you later. Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah, God, I love that man. That guy loves Notre Dame so much. I just can't. I'll never forget. JT, I see you. You're coming up. I'll never forget talking to Tom on the phone the night before the Indiana game. And he literally said he was going to go to bed early with the rosary in his hand, and he was just going to pray the rosary for that game until he fell asleep. I did. What gets more Catholic than that? Like, I love that man. I absolutely love that man. He is amazing. Couple of these chats I wanted to get to, and we'll go to our old pal JT. I've been worried about JT. JT's the MVP, and he hasn't been around. I was worried about him. I thought maybe they had him locked up or something. So I'm glad to see that he's out. Bobo says, I got Penn State going 6-6. Here's the issue with that. Their schedule is a joke. So I understand they're in this rebuilding. You had the whole James Franklin, the house of cards fell down and all that. Like, I understand all that. But they have a super weak Big Ten schedule this year. And I don't know how to guess what bad shape their roster's in from everything that's happened, and then blend that with a very weak Big Ten schedule. I don't know what to expect, but it could be better than 6-6 if they keep some talent in the program, because I don't think it's a good Big Ten schedule. Chris. ND 9-3 or 8-4, no playoff again, but you can't cry, but no crying with that record. I think he means no crying with that schedule. If Notre Dame goes 8-4, every good player on the team's ACL got chopped in half by like a lawnmower accident. I can't find a roadmap to Notre Dame going 8-4 with this schedule unless like 8 of the worst possible things happen. Car goes down, everybody on the O-line is driving four-wheelers and they crash, and everyone on the defense gets ran over by a cement roller. I can't, with this schedule for Notre Dame to go 8-4, 9-3, I can't get there. I absolutely can't get there. 10-2 would be a completely unacceptable outcome. 10-2 would be just like an astounding failure. So this 9-3, 8-4, like when you say that, I know you're just trying to trigger me on a Monday, but it makes me think that this is what you ate for breakfast.
Drugs and alcohol.
That's what I think you ate for breakfast, if you think that for real. So I just there's no way that happens unless every good player for Notre Dame gets injured. I can't see it. I can't see it. Very, very quickly, and I'm gonna get to JT and the catfish here. Very, very quickly. Here's what I'm seeing with the media with Notre Dame. My overall take on it is the national people, not the ones who cover Notre Dame all the time, the beat writers, people like me, the people that are at every Freeman presser, not our people, the national media. They use Notre Dame like a cheap lady of the evening. And what I mean by that is they use whatever is blowing, whatever direction the wind is blowing with Notre Dame, they lean on it 100%, maximize the output of views, clicks, YouTube videos, articles, whatever, hammer it. And then when the wind shifts, they ride that Notre Dame angle. So you went from, yeah, Notre Dame deserves to be in the playoff, look at how good they're playing or whatever, to, yeah, Notre Dame lost to Miami. They shouldn't be in the playoff, and they're big babies, and we hate them for not being in a meaningless bowl game, and what cowards and everything. And then a couple months later, we think Notre Dame's the number one team in the country. My point on this is they will use Notre Dame in whatever way is popular right now to get the views they want, and then they'll just switch it up when the narrative changes and get those views. When you are a national show, here's what I think it comes down to. When you're a national show, you don't get hammered down intellectually and boxed in on a position on a team because they cover everyone so lightly because they're national. They don't get boxed in on a position on a team. It's really easy to flip the script when you're a national team that's covering everybody and you're not heavy on one team every day on the books with your opinion. It's easy to flip-flop. So that's what I'm seeing is when it's popular to go with Notre Dame, they're going to do that because they know it's going to move the needle, and there's a lot of Notre Dame fans. When it's popular to rip on Notre Dame, they're going to double down on that to get those views. And then think about this, you guys. The next 12 weeks are the dark days of college football content. You have recruiting news and really nothing else. It is the lowest period of the calendar for YouTube views, article clicks for college football. The national guys are smart enough to know if there's one thing guaranteed to move the needle and get views in the slow period, it's pick Notre Dame to be number one. And you'll have arguments from everybody else that hates Notre Dame all summer to survive you those 12 weeks till we get to August, camp takes off, and all the views go up again. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. They will conveniently use Notre Dame for whatever whatever way the breeze is blowing. They will lean into it, get the views, and then flip the script when it's the other way around. So I'm just saying, know the game and know why they're playing the game. Okay? And I'm telling you, when Notre Dame's involved, the views are going to be there, good or bad. So they just flip-flop, lean into it, whatever. And then when the wind changes, they go with that. It's super inconsistent, somewhat disingenuous. Now, I will say this, though. What Kent says, who the heck saying Notre Dame's number one team in the country? Josh Pate had him number one. Reese Davis had him number one. USA Today had him number two. Like, those are off top of my mind. And these are people that for some reason people listen to. So I just want people to realize there's a lot of gamesmanship here. And when I'm telling you, a big part of this, when you're in the low period of the year for views, having Notre Dame as your number one team is a really, really safe way to ensure there's things to talk about to get through the next 3 months. And here's the other part of it, though. I'm not saying these guys think Notre Dame sucks and they're picking them number one just to generate traffic. What I am saying is, though, if you're one of these national guys and you think Notre Dame is a number 1, 2, or 3 type team, what's the harm in putting them number one? Do you get what? From a content creator angle who gets paid off views, if you think enough of Notre Dame to have them 1, 2, or 3, why not put them number one and have all the other conference-affiliated people mad at you all summer, raging on your comments? I can't believe you have Notre Dame. Oh, that's all good for business. So I'm just saying it's a smart business move if you're a national guy to have old Notre Dame number one to survive you through this slow time. I'm just saying. I believe they think they're good, but the number one thing seems intentional to me. That moves the needle, baby. That moves the needle. This is Swandong. This is national championship or bust. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anybody that disagrees with that? Is anybody like, oh, you know what? If we win one playoff game, we're going to be fulfilled? No. Absolutely not. I'm here to give you light, handsome. Omar, Omar, here's me and you talking on the phone.
Do you like me?
I do like you.
You are my friend?
You're a nice young man, and I am your friend.
You will be my boyfriend.
Yeah, I won't be your boyfriend.
Why not? You do
Well,
not
I
like
can
me?
be. Yeah, I can be. Depend. No, boyfriend. Yeah, I can.
You will be my boyfriend. I love you, Omar. I created that just for you. Tim Hyde, ND hasn't been preseason number one since 1971. I believe, Coach Hyde, correct me if I'm wrong, the highest in the somewhat modern era that I recall, I thought Notre Dame was number 2 in the preseason in 2006. That final year of Brady Quinn and after 2005 and Bush and everything, I think they got that push. And I thought Georgia was number 1 and Notre Dame was number 2 going back to 2006, if I remember. And the only reason I remember it is I still have the Sports Illustrated regional magazine that they would send out to you. And it had Brady Quinn on the front. I remember what a big deal that was that summer. That's what I remember being number 2 in 2006 as far as recent. Okay, so I am remembering that right. And then we all saw that turned out. Luckily for me, I had the pleasure of being at the home game where we played Michigan. And I think Brady Quinn had like 2 pick sixes in his first 3 passes. And it was very, very bad. And that old thing went bye-bye. The whole hype with Weiss in 2006 that went bye-bye real quick. But not an enjoyable day at Notre Dame Stadium for that Michigan game. It was very ugly. tip pass, pick six, another pick there. Like a whole bunch of bad stuff happened early. Yeah, Rudy was at that game with me. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Rudy. I thought it was going to be something different, but I guess I'm glad we were together for the misery. But that was a really, really rough one. And that essentially killed our program for the next 18 years. Yeah, that's the other thing, Tim Ide. Tim Ide, I want to get you. Come to the Miami tailgate, man. Get out there. I know it's going to be cold. Get out there for the Miami tailgate, Tim. Come on out, buddy. Andrew Gilmore, Happy's half brother. After listening to Bud Elliott's summer school in Oregon, I'd put them number one, returning all 4 D linemen, and all would have been top 100 picks. That is a really, really good. That dynamic is a good way to get into a Big Ten season, right? Like if you're a Big Ten team and you have that confidence with the defensive front, that's going to be really, really good for them. So yeah, we'll see how things go. Catfish, then JT. What's up, Fish? Oh, there you are. What's up, Fish?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I don't know why. A lot of fun energy today on the show, man. It's a beautiful thing in the dog days summer to have this kind of excitement.
Hey, look, it's got to be good. This is what we got to do. Keep the content going throughout the dog days. We're going to get excited about this. We can argue amongst each other and discuss how our team's going to do this, that, and the other. All these outsiders, who cares? Let them talk. Let them talk. I mean, enjoy the fact that they're talking good about us, not bad or derogatory towards us. You know, enjoy the status that we have. You know, Tim said that it was 1971. We haven't had this.
That's the thing,
Enjoy it.
dude. Earlier when I started the show, I said that I was going to say some things that were contradictory. That while I question some of the Notre Dame number one and some of this smoke we're getting, it is a compliment and it's noteworthy that so many national figures that get paid to cover all teams think a lot of Notre Dame. Like that does register to me as a positive and something that you like when these national people that are not tied to Notre Dame being good think Notre Dame's going to be good. That's definitely a good thing. But I still question the way that this is being framed. It's dubious with some of these people.
Well, you know they're going to do that, John. I mean, Notre Dame is relevant when we're not good. So you imagine what we are when we are. And we're going to be a good team. I mean, Stephen A., when we weren't that good, he would say we were irrelevant. You know, last year going to the playoffs, the reason why, this, that, and the other. You know, we're relevant. You know, as a university, Notre Dame's always been relevant. You know what I mean? Whether we're good, bad, or indifferent, let them talk about this stuff. The stuff that we were in a group text, something that got brought up. I don't know. Person that does content, it must be for Miami, did a post or some kind of show, and they were talking about they were going to dog walk Notre Dame. Let that stuff burn in us, because as fans and as a team, Marcus can use this all to his benefit if he wants. He can use it as a motivation, like, you know, you're not as good as what they're saying, you know, this, that, and the other. But as fans, let them talk crap about us, because when we go into these big atmospheres, whether it be on the road or whether it be at home, you know, SMU or Miami, we're going to have to be rabid. We're going to have to be like Golick talked back in the 80s when they used to drive into Miami and the fans surrounded the bus and shook it, you know, and it shook that team before they even walked in the stadium. You know what I mean? We need to be that way as fans and let this stuff slow burn for 3 months. I'm going to challenge each and every one of us. Don't talk to other fans and talk us up. Our team's going to do that. But when we go to these games, we need to be loud and we need to be different. So when Miami goes into Notre Dame Stadium, it sounds different and it feels different when they're walking off the bus and we're biting at the bit as fans. That's the thing that needs to change. We need to be confident where we're at, not unnerving. You know what I mean? Not nervous as fans. We need to be excited because we have something to be excited about, and we need to walk like we've been there before as fans. You know, I know we haven't necessarily.
I think that's the challenge for the fan base, the media base, and the team itself is how do you balance the line of having a lot of confidence in your group without crossing the line into irresponsible arrogance? Straddling that line where you're playing with an edge, you're walking around with a little pep in your step, but not overdoing it to where this team doesn't take everybody seriously on the schedule and you get clipped in September, which can't happen this year, right? Like, so, and we're fans and media, whatever, who cares about us? I'm more worried about this team. How do they avoid that rat poison and play and carry themselves with confidence, but not crossing the line to cocky to where you're putting the whole season at risk by thinking you could roll a ball out there and automatically win? How does this team calibrate to walk that line? That may be the biggest question of the regular season, honestly, is how does Notre Dame navigate being considered a favorite and not a sleeper? That's a shifting dynamic they got to manage.
Yeah, as a team, I will say there's, and I know that Goolsby or, Tim Hyde being a coach or some of these other guys could attest to this even more. There's a time to build to that as a program. I'm talking from a coaching standpoint. Game day. You can't get your guys up too quick if you have a night game. You know what I mean? Just like you can't be talking about, this whole entire thing right now as a university. He's going to have to hit that right at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have to feel and remember last year closer to that time. It can't be just now with everything you do. That's going to get old. So then when we get into the season, those guys are going to be like, this is like whatever. He's going to have to hit that switch so them guys feel that they're not unbeatable, because they're going to get clipped if they do that. They got to go into every game like Holtz used to do with those. You hear those stories from the old players. Every week he would go in and the underdog was the greatest team to ever play football, and they were going to knock them off. And by the end of the week, when the game started going on, they thought they were unstoppable. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a real big that's going to come from Marcus and that coaching staff. I think that's good. But as fans, we don't just walk around, act like we've been there before. Be a Barry Sanders. You know what I mean? When you score 50 touchdowns and you make everybody look silly, hand the ball to the ref. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess that's the thing as a fan, like, that, be comfortable in our skin. Last year was last year, and we can all argue about whether we deserved it or not, and whether they should have won or they would have won or anything, woulda, coulda. As fans, let these guys talk about dog walking us. Let it slow burn in us. Let it fester, and just when game day arrives, right when they pull that ball out against Wisconsin, we need to be ready to support this team and be loud, obnoxiously loud, not derogatory to other people, but be so loud those other teams, like against Michigan back in the 80s, when they had the refs had to stop the game and say, quiet down. Be that fan base.
I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it. And the other thing is, it was a challenge to be that way. Like when I had my tailgate last year, we were 0-2. And then we're in the parking lot and you're questioning about life in this program because we're at 0-2 and everyone's hurt and confused and frustrated, right? And so this should be very different. Notre Dame, this schedule sets up so wonderfully for Notre Dame to make a run here. That first batch of games, you should be ramping up, winning while you're developing and learning who you are and what your DNA is, who can play where. You should be collecting wins, peaking just about time for the trip to Provo. It all lines up. So I think you're going to get a wave of momentum here because I think Notre Dame's going to start ranked high and get off to the year at a good start. And I think that's going to help. When you're 0-2, you're questioning why you even exist.
100%. And even at that, when we were watching that last year, though, if you remember, we felt, even though we were under 0-2, us as a fan, we knew that team was better than 0-2. We knew it. You know what I mean? Like, and the team started building momentum. We can't do that this year. That team needs it. So that's where Marcus needs to adjust something in his coaching and in his preparation. He needs to hit that switch a little bit earlier. But the schedule is going to help out a little bit as well. You know what I mean? That's it. That's going to be a self-helper right there. We're not going against 2 top 10 teams right off the rip, you know? So I do want to say this as a fan base. You talk about the next 3 months getting together, you know, and Tom said something about going to Meat Chicken State. We ain't going to, hopefully we stay. If we do anything close to South Bend, let's do it close to South Bend, Indiana. But I get what he was saying. But if we don't do it there, let's go down to Miami and turn it blue and gold. You know what I mean? If we're going to go somewhere other than South Bend, Indiana, let's go show them what Notre Dame people really are about, is all I'm trying to say.
Man.
So,
I don't think I'm a good culture fit for Miami in a lot of ways. I'm just saying. I'm going to go an hour north of there and hang out with my parents and all the retired people at the community pool. You know what I'm saying? I don't think me and Miami would get along.
Well, here, how about this? If we don't do that, let's get together. Let's just hold off on planning on what week we go to South Bend. Let's just hold off and wait and hear when Brian Kelly's going to be in town so we can really tell him how we feel. That's all I'm trying to say. We can just go in there and maybe do roadblocks and detours to make them go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, don't go down this road.
All you got to do is wait in the country club parking lot and he'll come to you. You don't have to find him. He'll come find the nicest golf course.
Isn't it kind of funny though? He wanted to roll out of there every year as a coach trying to get something else. And whatever he wants to, that's his own. Now he wants to come back. Now you want to come back? Really? Okay. That makes now you want to come back. Okay. Well, now you just get to getting. That's all that's the way I feel about that one, but it is what it is. Me and Tim Hyde and Danny, we had a little discussion over the week on that over the weekend, but that's nor here nor there. You know, I just think as a fan base, if we take these 3 months to really get comfortable about what this team is and, be realistic, they're going to have a game where they might struggle a little bit, but when these other fans are talking about dog walking this team because of a player or a thing, we just need to understand, let them talk. Because this team's going to do the walking for us. This team's going to do the heavy lifting. And we just need to be there to support them. And, my challenge to every Notre Dame fan out there right now, this is my challenge. During this season, every home game, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to be there, and there's a couple guys that I've talked to about this. And I know in our group chats and stuff like this, we're talking about this. Be that fan that stands up on first and second down before a big play happens and cheer them. And that means that we're not just on big games, on all the games. Be the team that team draws energy. They draw energy from us, the 12th man. Be that and start preparing for that now. Don't wait for them to score a 60-yard touchdown or get a lead to stand up and cheer, or third down and 10 in the fourth quarter. Be that fan from the rip. I'm talking before the season starts, get ready. And feel that electricity, because that team's going to feed off of that. You know what I mean? We travel well. This team is well prepared. I'm just telling you, we need to get together as a fan base. And even if we have differences, we need to come together as a fan base and support this team and propel them to be exactly what they are, because it's national championship or bust. It's not none of this crap about 9-3, 8-4, all this stuff like that. Throw that crap in the trash, because if they don't go at least compete for that national title, this season is a bust. That's the bottom line. The first time since 71, ranked preseason number 1, and we're going to sit here and talk about 9-3. If they go 9-3, it's a travesty. It's a travesty, and there's something majorly wrong with this program internally if they go 9-3. Bottom line. And so we can all agree with that. So if we're going to argue about that, we could talk about trap games. I said something last week to you. We were talking about trap games. And I said Boston College. It got placed right in between two of our biggest games, right in the middle. And that team hates Notre Dame. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff.
It's hard. There's a vortex of energy for like a Bush push weekend, a 93 Florida State weekend. It's a vortex of energy and vibes and excitement. The whole world revolves around it that week. It's really hard to come back to the same place the next week and have none of that vibe or whatever. I'm telling you, I almost wish it would be. This seems weird, I almost wish it would be a road game after that because it's not coming right back to the same stadium and campus with a third of the vibe because BC,
late in the year.
Like I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
it's a weird spot because it's a power vacuum because it's all going to be wrapped into Miami and then the next week's going to feel like nothing's happening. It's a very odd vibe there.
In fact, last time when Boston College clipped us, that team was ranked 17th in the country and with a Hall of Fame head coach. He prepared that team to beat Notre Dame. People don't remember that. You know, O'Brien, they had that team prepared and they had some good players on that team. You know, it's just Notre Dame was a better team. We didn't look at Boston College like a Florida State. So they did not prepare that week mentally to be up 2 games in a row. Notre Dame's going to have to be up all year because we're going to get everyone. If everybody says Notre Dame gets everybody's best shot. Well, you know what? That means that every fan base is going to give their best shot. And so we need to be on our toes and we need to be prepared too to cheer these guys on when they are literally going to be needing energy. They're going to need to walk out that tunnel and have us standing from the first snap against Rice, just like Miami. I don't want to hear this crap about I can't see. Well, then you need to get up and get a TV. All I'm trying to say is that I'm being dead serious. As sure as I'm sitting here right now, if this fan base does not change that aspect this year, that team is going to feel that. They're going to, because there's going to be games where they have tests and they have stuff going on with their family outside of football, and they're going to have to draw energy, and that's why the fans are so important, man. That's why we're so important to the facet of this university. We're tied at the hip when it comes to that, and if we're going to sit there and expect them just to come out and just be world beaters from day one to the end of the season without any kind of help or any kind of support, you're sorely mistaken. They can have every great player in the country and still struggle. So that's my challenge to everybody, is that we need to get together and be that loud Notre Dame stadium that we have YouTube clips of in the 80s. But don't wait for it. Be there for Rice. So when we're up 70-0, we can celebrate. Not yeah, 24-20. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear none of that crap. And I'm just saying, like, that's we need to do that. All I'm saying, man, come on. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just so excited about this year, man. And
here we go, Cat. WPP, he's pushing back. So a 75-year-old fan who's been going to games for 50 years, but is now unable to stand, has no business in Notre Dame Stadium.
Okay, I never said that.
How would you respond to that?
I will say this. If he's a Notre Dame fan for 50 years and he's 75, he's going to say whatever it takes. Because if I'm 95 and I can't stand up, Lord knows if I could, I would be. And my thing is I would give my chair to somebody that could, if that meant the difference with that team winning the national title or not. I guarantee. I was told last year, we went to the Texas A&M game, and this is a true story, WPP, just so you know, over behind the Notre Dame sideline. Okay, so you know how the Notre Dame fans are at times about sitting down. So I stood there with my son-in-law and my son, and it was the first time that Nick ever went to a game. And we were at the beginning of the game, and we got up and we stood up. And the entire time, we never sat down the entire game. And I had a gentleman 4 rows up because we were so loud. It actually gave energy to people around us to stand up, right? So other people started standing up like the whole entire time. And a guy said, that's exactly the energy we need. And so what I'm trying to say is that as a fan base, we can put energy in that stadium. I'm not saying be rude. I'm saying encourage people to stand up, encourage people to get up and give these kids energy. You came and paid money to watch these kids. You know what I mean? Like, to cheer them on. If you wanted to sit at home and eat popcorn and be upset, sit at home and do that. I mean, all I'm saying is like, as a fan, it doesn't matter if you're 5 years old like my son was at his first game. I was standing up holding him. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is like, just be a fan. Be excited for this. Like, we should not just go to this game just sitting there going.
We got to follow up. I'm going to say this for the final time. The students stand, everybody else can sit. And I got news. People can scream very loudly, even from the sitting position.
Okay.
Your
So I'm gonna say this,
response,
WPP.
Mr.
You can sit down all you want. All I'm gonna say is don't tell me to, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I bought my ticket just like you, and I'm gonna be loud as F is all I'm gonna say. And you're gonna get annoyed. And if you want to leave, you can leave. But I ain't sitting my ass down. I'm staying in the whole game. So if you're sitting behind me, have fun. Better have a phone. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna mic drop on that. Love you, John. Love the show. Go Irish. Leave no doubt and stand and cheer for these boys because we're winning that natty this year. It's over. Come on. See you, buddy.
Catfish, I love the energy. Have a good week, man. Thanks for starting your
All right.
Monday out here. I love that guy's energy so much. Somebody said to me in the chat, they said, John, how mad would you be if you were in the foursome buying Catfish right now? He's just sitting there in the fairway talking to you. That's a work cart. That ain't a fun cart. That's not a golf cart. That is a work cart. He's on the property. He's on the premises, if you will. He's on the premises. So I understand. Here's the frustrating thing. I feel like forever people complain Notre Dame didn't have an intense home environment that caused any intimidation and wasn't loud and it was sleepy. That's where I came up with the wine and cheese crowd, because I got sick of the only people that could go to the biggest Notre Dame games were the people with a lot of money. But though, in my experience, a lot of those people are emotionally tied to Notre Dame the least because they have all this money to worry about and clients and lawyer business and stocks and stuff to do. And it was more of a social event to be at Notre Dame for the day and look at the sights and have a picnic in the quad. And it wasn't about the intensity of the actual football. That's how I came up with not liking the wine and cheesers, because I didn't think that their number one priority was Notre Dame football dominance. It was social reasons, something to do, being seen on campus by your old rich friends. None of the stuff that matters to me, which is beating people's ass. So that's where I started to have a problem, where the costs for Notre Dame's best game started to price out regular people who are ready to chop an arm off for Notre Dame to win, and all the fancy rich people could go that didn't care as much as the regular people. But the issue is you're going to have all these years. One of the big complaints is Notre Dame's too nice to the opponents. It's an easy place to play. It isn't loud. It isn't rocket or whatever. Now you're starting to swing the pendulum back where people are being intense and all that. And now we're mad because now it's too much. Stresses me out. JT, he's the show MVP. What's up, baby?
What's up? And I did not get locked up. I'm just letting you know right now, I did not get locked up. And
good. Yeah, we were worried about you. I thought you were in jail waiting to get bailed out or something.
Oh, trust me, if I was in jail waiting to get bailed out, somebody would have let you know. Anyway, first thing is, with apologies to any headphone users, I'm going to defend West Palm Pat a little bit and let you know that you can scream very loudly from a sitting position. All right.
Not the same. It's not the same as standing, man. I get fidgety. I like being able to move my feet. There's something different about yelling while standing.
Yeah, and that is and that's fine. Anyway, the yesterday was Mother's Day. Of course, Mother's Day is one of those hard ones for me.
Yeah.
Because as I don't know if I've told you this before, but I lost my mother when I was 12 years old, and yeah, it's hard. It's one of the hard days, and for everybody whose mother is still alive, and this is a message to everybody, not just everybody in this chat, but all the Notre Dame people that don't watch this show, cherish every Mother's Day you get to have with your mother. I only got a small handful of them, so please treat your mother well on Mother's Day. All right, with that out of the way, talk about the media. And I'm going to tie this into a point that I'm going to tell people. And yes, it's final season. I got a message for the high school juniors that are looking at colleges and the sophomores that are going to be juniors, and they are going to be able to get talked to by college recruits this upcoming summer. I'm going to tie all this in. The media. As we've discussed throughout the last 30 minutes or so with the great catfish, the media is going to use Notre Dame for content and how good the football team is for their content in the doldrums of the summer. They're going to use us.
Yeah.
It's our job as fans to just let the noise roll off our backs and don't feed into the national people who don't really care. They're just using us for clicks.
Do you take it as a compliment, though, that at least these national entities that allegedly know about sport think a lot of you? Like, is it okay to take a little bit of it as like, hey, man, like we're getting some love here from some people that are not pro Notre Dame here. Maybe there's something there. Is it okay to buy in a little bit? Or should you just disregard it all? Rat poison.
If you're a player, then it's rat poison and you should ignore it.
That's fair.
If you're a fan, then you can buy into that a little bit, but just know that they need content and they're using us for content. And speaking of content, and the reason why we are so different from everybody else, the reason why they use us for content all year long is because we're different than everybody else.
That's a good point, JT.
High school juniors that are prepping for their finals right now. Maybe they're listening to the show on the lunch break. The University of Notre Dame. You give the University of Notre Dame the next 4 years after next year when you graduate from high school. It'll set you up for the next 40 years of your life. The alumni connections you can make at Notre Dame, even the Notre Dame football fan connections you can make at Notre Dame are second to none. And I didn't even go to Notre Dame. It's not like I couldn't have gotten in either. I had to stay close to home because there was some things going on. I had to stay close to home. Anyway, and you can do, and Notre Dame can offer you an academic experience. And I'm talking to the future recruits right now, the sophomores that are getting ready to be able to legally talk to coaches in the summer. Notre Dame can offer you an academic experience that is unrivaled by any other major football school.
And JT, the thing is, it used to be they offer that, but you have to give up a lot of other benefits. Now Notre Dame offers you everything you could need other than beautiful 90-degree weather all year. You could get the degree. You could go to the NFL. You could make NIL money. You could have the Notre Dame network. It offers everything a top player could want other than if they really want really warm weather year round. It's about the only thing I can help you with. Other than that, Notre Dame checks all the boxes, JT.
Yes, it absolutely does. And this is just a message for those people that are maybe down in the dumps in high school. Maybe they have to go through something. Maybe their family isn't as well off as they'd like it to be. Guess what just happened this spring? Notre Dame just announced that if your family makes, I think it's $65,000 or less, you get in for free if you want, if you qualify and if you get it.
I thought that number was like 100, 125, maybe.
Okay, maybe
was the
maybe that's the number.
So that gives them even a little bit more leeway there, and I think that's a very, very good thing. You still got to academically qualify, but I do like Notre Dame. Yeah, I thought it was 125, 150. People are saying. I think that is an awesome way to bring some regular people into Notre Dame land that don't come from legacy money. I think it's a beautiful thing. Of course, you still have to qualify academically, but I do like that, JT.
Yeah, and for those of you in high school who would die to go to Notre Dame, but you're afraid you can't afford it and your family meets that criteria, I just gave you motivation.
Yeah.
To get your academics in order. Use this news as your motivation to get your academics in order, to get squared away, do what you need to do in school, prep for those finals. I know they're coming up.
JT, I think you need to be on a commercial for Notre Dame or something. I think you need to be the damn spokesman at the recruiting office. Look at you. You're off to the races, baby. The man with the painting of his fan. I like it.
It's, and it is such a privilege to have this community of people that I can be a part of. And I can,
we love you.
And of course, if anybody here is in the Hampton Roads region, nothing's confirmed yet, but watch out May 20th. I might be heading your way that evening.
Man, JT, you're gonna tear the town down, baby. You need security. JT's walking through, baby. You know what? We're going to get you your own logo and your own everything. It's going to be JT for ND, baby. And we'll just get you your own fit and your own entourage. I'm telling you what. JT, anything else, buddy? I'm glad you joined. It's been a couple weeks and I was asking about you. I'm glad you're back. Anything else on your mind?
Yes, I have one last thing on my mind, and that is that if any of you guys are lacrosse guys, I'm not a lacrosse guy, but Notre Dame just won. I think it was yesterday in the first round of in the NCAA lacrosse tournament. If you're a lacrosse guy and Notre Dame is coming out to you, get out there and support them, please. They're competing for a national championship right now. Yeah. And they need your support right now. So go out there and do that if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. JT, you're the man. It's really good to see you back in the mix. People are asking about you. Feel free to come back whenever you can. Nikki Dean coming up next. Love you, buddy. Go get another painting of that fan.
I see there's a Bama person in here. Okay.
Yeah, we're mixing it up. We're mixing it up.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later, and I'm just gonna sit here and hope that what I talked about can be some fuel to some high school students that might have given up on their dream to go to ND.
There you go. JT, you're the man. Have a good week, buddy.
Of course. Take care, bud.
Check in when you can and make me one of those paintings of that fan there. Andrew Gilmore says something really, really funny, only because it's terrible and pretty accurate. The lacrosse coach is also coincidentally our best wide receiver recruiter. I find that really entertaining in the worst way possible. But if you really think about it, that's the guy that got your most consistent wide receiver on campus. It had nothing to do with the football program. That's really, really funny. WPP, Nikki Dean's coming up. Not in the business of, I have a good answer to this. Take it or leave it. Not in the business of declaring who is who or who isn't a true fan. Do all true fans stay for the entire game, even if it's a blowout? Some would say you're not a true fan if you leave early. I have long been on the record telling everyone the only time I'm staying till the final zeros of a Notre Dame home game is if it's something like Bush Push in 05, where you couldn't leave early because it went down to the final second. Anything else, I'm beating the traffic. And you could tell me, oh, I'm grasping my rosary, John, you don't stay for the alma mater afterwards. If you think I am going to wait 2 hours in traffic to leave a parking lot before I even get on the highway to drive 2 more hours, you're out of your damn mind. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I only stay till the last second in a game going down to the last second that matters. That's the other thing. Notre Dame's losing to like some dumb team at home late in the game. Am I going to stay till the end and be in a traffic jam to see if we're going to come back against a team we shouldn't have been losing to anyways? You're out of your damn mind about that too. I'm going home. And if I hear that Notre Dame pulled it out of their ass, I'll be relieved. But there's not one part of me that's going, oh my God, I'm so sad I left early of us coming back and beating a team we should have never had to come back on. You're out of your mind. I'm only waiting to sit in traffic for a big time game that comes down to the wire. Otherwise, I am out of there. The way I look at it is my job is done once the issue is no longer in doubt. That's my mission, to see Notre Dame win a football game. Once that box is checked, it's over. The obligation's over. I go there for one reason, to watch Notre Dame win a football game at home. Once the box is checked, I'm free to leave. I'm free to leave. But if you think for a second I'm staying till the end of the Rice game to sit in that parking lot for 2 hours, you're out of your mind. Also, I would like to add, this isn't just for football. I have never stayed for an encore at a concert in my life. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You think that's even worse than a football game. Everybody's on LSD and everything else leaving a concert at midnight. You think I'm going to sit in a parking lot for 2 hours? Not doing it. Every time an encore starts, I'm walking to the car. I'm going to be out of there. I'm not doing it. You got to know what you have the patience for in your life. And for me, standstill traffic is like number one wasting time of my life. Not doing it. Not doing it. So I avoid it. That's why I moved out of Chicago. I'm not sitting in the traffic. It's just wasting times of my life. John has never seen post-credit scenes at the movies. Yeah, we need to talk about these movies. We went and saw the Michael Jackson movie that came out where his nephew plays him or whatever. It's like 35 minutes of previews. It's obscene. It's obscene making people sit through 35 minutes of previews to do whatever. And then it's like, oh, John, that's why you reserve your seat now and not just walk in there. So you don't have to do that because you have an assigned seat. The last 2 times I've done that, I'm not going to say any pejoratives, but there were some trashy people in our seats, and it turned into a big argument of my seat or your seat, and then everybody's getting mad, and it turns into a stressful thing. And even if I win the issue, because I know they're in my seat I paid for, it's making a big scene because they don't want to move, and I go get someone. Now I'm a Karen, even though I'm in the right. The whole thing pisses me off. The whole thing pisses me off. But I ain't waiting to know 2 hours in Notre Dame Stadium lot. Stanford 12, I waited 2 hours to leave because we were in overtime and all of that. And then like push, I stayed till the end. But even if it's against a lower level team and we don't know how it's going to go, I'm leaving then too because I'm embarrassed that we're sweating it out. Maybe going to lose to this team we should have already beat. I'm so mad I'm leaving anyways. Michael Jackson movie, he's a very, very talented guy. I wanted to learn more about his life. Why is that weird? He's one of the most talented guys that's ever done it. Very creative brain. And my wife wanted to go see it. We went to the movie. What the hell? Coincidentally, the movie chronologically stops before all the weird stuff. That's interesting. $5 for the cat. I stand Omer away. I stand and cheer. The day I don't want to stand, I'll stay home and give my ticket to somebody who can stand for me. Well, I hope you never end up confined to a wheelchair, cat. Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. Good morning, Nikki.
What's up, buddy? Couple things.
What's going on? No work today? You're out in nature? That looks great.
I actually lost my job about a month ago. So I'm looking for a new job right now. Right now, I'm reclaiming some area in my yard.
There you go.
But anyway, two things. Number one, anytime anybody's talking about you, it's a good thing because there is no such thing as bad publicity.
That's a fair point. Although we tested the limits of that with the Notre Dame hatred after we didn't play in the bowl game and all that. I felt like the limits of that theory got tested a little bit because people were pounding us from every direction, so to speak.
They were talking about us and not the playoffs, though, John. Why were they talking about us all December?
It's a very good
and January and February and not the playoffs?
That's a good point. It's just, but man, we're getting a lot of hype, Nick. What do you make of it?
It's good. I think we're going to be a good team. I think our defense is going to carry the day for us. Our offense is going to have to figure some things out with the running backs, with the tight ends, with the wide receivers, but our defense is going to carry the day for us. I really do.
Yeah, and anybody that has some anxiety, and it's me sometimes, about the new skill pieces for Notre Dame coming together on offense. There's some uncertainty, in my opinion, at wide receiver, tight end, and running back, how this is all going to work, and then tying the O-line and Carr's development into that. If I ever get in a place where I have some anxiety about that, what makes me feel better is looking on the other side of the ball, because I think that defense is going to keep the score down enough that Notre Dame's offense can grow into what it needs to become without losing. I believe that Notre Dame defense is going to do that.
And my other point, I agree with Catfish 110%. When I went to that IU playoff game in 24, I didn't sit down the whole game. My wife sat down. My best friend sat down. I didn't sit down. I'm not sitting down ever again. I don't care if people behind me get mad.
Standing in the yard, you're never gonna sit down again.
I don't care. I don't care if people behind me get mad or whatever. I paid for my seat. I'm not sitting in it. You can move.
Now, to every game, or does that have to be a big game, big moment? Or if we're playing Rice and we're up by 30, you're telling me you're going to stand? Like, what are the parameters here?
I'm standing every game, all game.
There you go.
That's just me.
I like it.
Maybe I'll join you in the top row there, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, baby. I love that top row. Having that backstop to lean on. You got a little more space. There's no one behind you telling you to sit down or falling on you drunk. I like that back wall, and I reserve the right to flip off of it if things go bad, too.
How much sun you get up there, though?
It depends on the angle, on which side you're on as far as being at the top. It really does depend on the angle. But the other thing, Nick, is you get a beautiful view of South Bend and all the country. When you're up there, you can see out into the trees and the distance. You get a really good view of all of the nature surrounding the area, too. I like it up there a lot. Uh-oh, he's frozen in time. There you go. There you go. You're back.
Yeah, I got a phone call. A stupid phone call while I'm trying to talk to you. But Nick, anyway, I that top row, I don't know. I'm not a big heights guy.
This is the spot to be for me, man. I need this space, Nick. And so I don't know. What are you feeling about the recruiting, man? I'm feeling like it's going to be pretty good. Everything I'm hearing is expect Notre Dame to land some of their top targets soon. I'm here for that.
I want us to get those two defensive linemen. That one from Chicago, especially.
Yep.
But
look at that. They're after you, Nick. I don't know what you did, but they're after you.
No, a fire truck going by. Somebody probably had a brush fire that got out of hand. I live in the sticks, John.
Yeah, that's man, I like that. Get a little nature. I need some nature in my life. I think it'd help calm my blood pressure.
Oh, that snake problem you got.
Yeah.
Put some mothballs down the hole. I always heard
They
that
don't like
mothballs
them?
scare away snakes.
I'm going to look into that, man, because I don't like no snakes, man. I ain't no rattlesnake hunter. I don't trust anything without legs. You can't even stand if you're a snake. That's how much I don't trust you. I don't trust them.
They can stand. They just have to be draped over a branch, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Nick, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't trust them.
Hey, back in college, I had a couple pet snakes. My wife had a pet snake when we got together. They're not bad.
You guys are that's awfully snaky. I don't know how you ever sleep in a house where you know there's a snake in there. How
They have
can you
lockdown
ever
lids.
sleep knowing there's a snake in your house?
They have lockdown lids, Johnny.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of scary movies that start that way. And then you wake up and roll over and it's wrapped around your wife. I've seen this movie play out before.
Nah, it never happened. They were good snakes.
There is no such thing. They were good snakes. You're acting like it's a dog you have a relationship with.
I had a relationship with my snakes. They were cool. Walk around campus at IU with my snake wrapped around my neck. It was great, man.
Don't do this to me. Oh.
It was great.
Yeah, you had a great relationship. He liked when you threw dead rats in there for him to eat. There's the extent of your relationship.
My wife had a little bitty oh my gosh, Burmese python. It was about that big. She carried around, wrapped around her neck, wrapped around her wrist. It was cool. They were good.
No. That's too much for me, but I'm going to take your mothballs advice and dump them in that hole. Thank you.
Yeah, try that, Johnny. But I'm like Catfish. I'm not sitting down ever again. I'm going to stand up the whole game.
Nick, I like that a lot. And best of luck to you there with the job search stuff. If there's anything anybody in our network could do, let me know, man. Or shoot me an email. Let me know what you're looking for, and we'll get the network going. Like, we're all in this together, man. So if that would help at all, let me know.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, Nick. You're the best. I still like you, even though you're too snaky. I still like you, but you're too snaky. I stand home or away. I stand and cheer. The day I don't stand, I'm giving my ticket to somebody else. I want to get back to WPP and my thing of leaving early. I have never once felt bad about that. My mission is to see Notre Dame win the football game. Once that box is checked, I am free to leave. That is my mission. I've seen the alma mater a million times. Like, I don't need to be in 2 hours of traffic to see them sway. I just don't value that in that moment. You could judge me for that if you want. The other one is me leaving bad games early. Oh, John, aren't you mad you missed that comeback when we were down 3 scores against a team we were favored by 3 scores over? No, because I'm mad that we had to come back against a team you should have never had to come back to. So I'm already gone. And if we pull it out and win it, I'm relieved, but I'm not saying that I wish I was there for it. No, you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing the right thing. Staying there to hope we come back against a team you should have never had to come back against just makes me mad. I'm not doing it. And you could say that who am I being entitled and having all these standards for fandom and what I'm willing to be there for or not? Everybody's different. Everybody's different. And my thing is avoiding traffic whenever possible. Absolutely avoiding traffic whenever possible. Just tell you what, blue and gold pissed me off this year. Blue and gold pissed me off because I'm parking in the worst out of all time right by the stadium. And because they don't even do quarters and have a running clock, I didn't even know when the game was ending to be able to leave early. So I did end up in traffic because you think the game's moving along and all of a sudden they go last play of the game. The guy kicks it and 40,000 people are all trying to get on the toll road at once. No, absolutely not. So I ended up stuck in traffic for that. I didn't appreciate it. Oh, John, what do you mean? You would have left blue and gold early? What if you missed something? Yeah, that's what YouTube is for. That's what YouTube is for. All right, you guys, let's get out of here. Almost 2 hours, a lot of energy. Again, Monday Night Raw is going to be Tuesday this week. We're going to honor Mike and his dog. And so we're going to do Tuesday Night Raw this week. So thanks for being with us for that. Beef, what do you mean? No way. Catfish, let me go back, Beef. I stand so much. I had OSU kids family glaring at me as they left early. I'm standing, baby. And if I get a wheelchair, I'm doing wheelies. Look at this one. Tide Pride 75. Screw Notre Dame. Roll damn Tide. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I spent some time in Alabama one summer. I think I went to the Alabama State Fair. They had a bunch of concerts or something. I never have been around such an interesting dynamic of like openly racist people. But if the guy's black on the football team, it doesn't count. It's absolutely unbelievable. I've never experienced anywhere else where I saw like blatant open signs of racism. But if that black guy's wearing a helmet and playing football, that doesn't count. He's one of the good ones. It's unbelievably offensive and hypocritical. I never saw anything like it, but being in Alabama for a while. And people might get mad at that. It was just my experience, but I found it very hypocritical how many open signs of racism I saw that just didn't apply to the football players magically. I just think that's funny, man. Beef Eater, $10 hour. 70. Oh, good one, Beef. I'm glad I didn't miss. I'm sorry I missed this. I get distracted, dude. I have bad attention span. 75 years old gets your handicap seat. You'll be able to see over everyone. Plus, you'll have room for your bib and your diaper bag. They may not let you bring in the tapioca pudding. They do a good job. They do a good job with the handicap thing and how you could just kind of slide up, right? Like slide your wheelchair up to the platform and then have a couple chairs there, like for your people. They do a pretty good job. By the way, one last thing on this. I told the stories a long time ago when you used to be able to sleep overnight at the one game day ticket window and get tickets at face value with no markup. But the tickets are all technically sold out. So the way this worked is, this relates to our discussion today. Here's how that worked. Like for Bush Push, I got there about noon on Friday, sleep in line all day Friday into Saturday morning. You can't leave the line or you're losing your spot. There's one game day ticket window. Here's how this went. On game day, handicap people have a regular ticket. On game day, they go to the ticket window I'm at. They swap their regular ticket for a handicap ticket. Not only for them, but if you have like your wife with you and you're in a wheelchair, you get regular tickets sent to you at home. You go to that line the day of. They verify you're handicapped and they give you 2 handicap seats. What that means is the 2 regular seats you add go up for resale in the game day ticket window. That's how I was able to get Bush Push tickets for face value. So it's funny because all the people in my line, the more handicapped, messed up people you see, the better the odds are you're getting a ticket. I was praying for crippled people. I was praying for wheelchairs. I mean, I wanted all of it. I wanted canes, wheelchairs, caskets, whatever. The more of those people there were swapping their regular tickets for handicap ones, the more regular tickets went up in resale for face value. It never failed me, but there's some long nights in that line. How long do you want to wait for Notre Dame tickets? If you're willing to sleep overnight in the cold, you could get them at face value. So that was the hack, is you were praying for more handicap people because that was more and more regular seats up for you at resale at face value. That was my little trick. And then Notre Dame realized we are too classy to have these homeless idiots like John sleeping out there on the sidewalk. And they did away with it. But it was, that's how we did it, man. That's how we did it. So I was always all for as many handicapped people as possible to help me out. I mean, maybe that's wrong, but that's the way I looked at it. Always Irish. You don't like the wheelchairs at airports. Don't get me started about that. 15 middle-aged, overweight women can't walk to get on the plane at Midway. They get wheeled right to the front. Suddenly, that plane lands in Florida and they could see the beach. And it's a miracle. The good Lord healed their ailments during the 2-hour flight to Florida. Magically, they can walk very quickly off that plane. But to get there, 14 of them needed to be wheeled right to the front and be the first person to get on the plane. It's a miracle how that works. And it's always the same group. Middle-aged, overweight women that do it. Overweight. Middle-aged, overweight women are the ones who do it every single time. Of various races, by the way. But it's always that group. Middle-aged, very overweight. Magically, their legs healed when they got to Florida. You're going to hell. I don't know what to tell you. You're messing with that system. You don't get me started. All right. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to the gym. I'll see you guys on Raw Tuesday night. Remember it. I just went to Disney. I saw a bunch of Disney adults. You need to be on a watch list with the government. If you're adults with no kids going to Disney, there needs to be a watch list and you need to be on it. It's not normal. It's not normal. Those Disney adults, if you have a kid, you have a kid. I get it. You want your kid to see Ariel, whatever. I've done it. It's miserable, but you do it for the kids. These are Disney adults that have no kids. You need to be on a watch list. I don't even know what for, but your ass needs to be on one. It ain't normal. It ain't normal. We'll talk about that next time. God, I love these shows. You never know what we're going to get into. Love you guys. Later.